The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary Related Entertainment.
Aloha and welcome everyone to Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and their staff to find out how they're working to support the needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, you've just got to stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific and President of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. And if you listen to us on a regular basis, you know that each week during this hour we share experiences of how our agencies are working to benefit our island home with stories of how these agencies are changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope. And today, our first guest is Angela McClure, who is the Director of the Youth Services Department at Maui Economic Opportunity. Hi, Angela.
Hi, good morning.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you for coming on the show. And this is this your first round of PR for the department?
I think it is.
Yeah?
It's my very first since arriving here.
Before the show, we talked briefly about how Angela is kind of getting used to the territory here and learning Maui ways. And we were talking a little bit about the difference between coming here as a tourist and enjoying the island and then coming back as a resident and working on the island. And so she's about, 5 months into that transition?
5 months, definitely, yes. And there's lots to learn.
Lots to learn, right. And, of course, the program she's working in with the youth over there at MEO, these are mostly at-risk youth. Is that correct?
It is. Yes, we have a lot of youth coming to us who have come out of foster care, shelter, mission, and they need a place to come and be welcomed and to learn. And
in the summertime, you've got kids everywhere.
Everywhere, all day long. It's so much fun. Yeah, and any day we can have anywhere from 40 up to 50 kids a day that we're taking and doing different service learning with.
You do different projects out around the community, yeah?
We do, yeah.
Or take them someplace where they can learn.
Yeah, we learn by involvement in the community, and it could be anything from volunteering at the farm to take care of animals, learning about sustainability, cleaning up our beaches. We do lots of work. We clean out taro patches, but then we get to go have fun too afterwards. We take them to the beach swimming, and we all eat together, and it's turned out really great.
That old reward system.
Oh, yes.
Work hard, and then you can play hard.
And then you get to play, yes, definitely.
Very good. Well, I know I was over there a couple of weeks ago as they were loading up the buses, or vans, I guess you've got. 3 vans or something like that to take.
Yeah, vans, and we utilize the buses when we have the availability.
Okay, and they were
always full.
Yeah, they were loading up their paraphernalia to take out with them and to do their work and then to play afterwards. But it's a great program. And now, what age group are we talking about for this daily program that's going on?
We have kids ranging in age from 10 all the way up to 18.
Okay, so it's junior high through high school.
Right.
Kind of thing. Okay.
Right.
And then they're selected on a criteria basis, or?
No, not really. It's a first come, first serve, and we always seem to have just the right amount that fit in those vans and buses, and sometimes we'll get 1 or 2 extra, and we'll have to, shift people or things and, supplies around. But no, it's open up to all Maui County youth.
Okay. And now, when they come, are they coming on a daily basis?
It depends on what's going on with their families.
Right.
Some kids come every single day. Some kids will come, maybe once or twice a week. Some kids, we see them, come back. And so it really depends on their schedules, their sports, what they've got going on, where they're living, and if they can make it there.
Gotcha.
And we pick kids up as well. We'll take the vans out and pick the kids up.
Oh, great. Okay, so it's almost door-to-door service.
Yes, definitely, especially for upcountry kids who have a hard time getting into MEO.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Well, okay. So now you kind of brought a program with you when you moved over here.
I did. I was so excited to learn that MEO had camping experience. The staff had taken the kids out camping, but it was a tent camping kind of a thing, and I had initiated Camp Hope Shasta in Shasta County, California, and it turned out to be such a success last year with great community collaboration that I asked if we could do it here in Maui. And I didn't have as much time to prepare. I've only had a couple months to get it together. But we were able to secure Camp K&I July 21st to the 24th, and we're signing up our MEO kids, and we're also working with other community agencies to sign up their children as well.
So you're looking at more than the 40 kids you're working with?
Definitely.
Okay.
We'll probably have about 60 to 70.
Wow, and they'll be out there for the week?
And we'll be out there for about a week, right. And so what we're doing right now is we're taking our teenagers ages 16 through 18, and we've been training them each week, 2-hour sessions. They have to become certified as youth leaders, as mentors to the other children. And so it's more of a youth-led. They'll be the camp directors. They'll have their responsibilities for their group and activities and cooking and cleaning and doing lots of fun activities, educational as well as holistic types of activities.
Interesting. So it's a camp for the kids, by the kids.
Pretty much, with adult supervision.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
You'll be seen but not heard if things go right.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So as part of is there a cost to these youth for going to this camp?
No. What is great is that AT&T, in the past I've had Walmart sponsor my camps on the mainland, but AT&T stepped up to the plate and sponsored the entire camp. And so the kids, it's free to the kids, and they'll be out there they'll be learning their health and wellness, and learning about underage drinking, substance abuse, cultural awareness, and definitely talking about breaking the cycle of violence.
Wow, that sounds like a full week.
It is. There's a lot going on. We partnered with Maui Police Department. They're going to come out and talk to the kids. It's just going to be a great week. Lots of fun.
That's terrific. So now in these presentations, you said the police department. Have you got any other groups that will be coming out and making presentations or working on
My
training?
staff is working on, for the cultural awareness piece, to go and clean the
taro
fields, and then go on to a hike and view waterfalls.
Oh,
out
wow.
there. So that's a part of it.
It's a gorgeous place for that.
We're going to have 3-legged races. We're doing a traditional emu.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got that one right.
There you go.
And and so the kids will help dig the pit and cook and then prepare traditional meal as well.
Wow. So the general cooking duties, are the kids going to be doing those
We
on
have
a regular basis?
volunteers who are coming from different agencies
Okay.
who are helping with the cooking duties, but the kids will definitely have a hand in some of that, and definitely the cleanup part of it.
Gotcha.
Need dishwashers.
Okay, it's not going to be all paper plates and plastic forks.
No, the camp actually has the tray service, and so
cool.
so each group will get their turn to go and learn how to run a dishwasher.
Wow. Okay, so it's going to be learning from sunrise to sunset.
Definitely. We have the camp has donated wall space, so we'll be painting a mural as well. And some of the local Lahaina artists are donating their time to come out and work with the kids. What else is going on?
To organize the painting. Wow.
Yeah, to organize the painting, so we'll see who ends up showing up for that. And that's basically and it's to have that mentorship piece as well with the teenagers. So it's not just camp and then go home and you've learned this great stuff. It's to become involved with MEO Youth Services. It's to stay involved, and then we'll have future family night dinners and activities for the kids so that they can all stay bonded. Camping is a real bonding experience for kids.
Right.
So, and the camps we've had before, they usually find each other through social media and stay involved that way.
So now this is the same age group, 10 to 18, that's
Yes.
going out to camp?
Yes.
Okay. And there are some activities right there at camp, too, for them, aren't there?
Oh, yeah.
They've got all
lots
the
to do out there.
great
The
stuff.
Full-on gym, sports, and so yeah, I'm letting the
Can I come?
teens. Can you come? Can you cook?
No.
Well, do dishes.
Yeah, probably.
Run groups.
Yeah, I'm probably okay at doing dishes.
Yeah. So some of the teens are actually planning their own icebreaker activities to do with each of their groups. So journaling, some art. Call it art therapy, but art, expressionism, I
Sure,
guess.
yeah.
And so kids will be involved. Camp story time. Uncle Alex is coming out during camp story time to.
You can have a big old campfire.
Oh yeah, big campfire,
the bed.
s'more making.
Oh, I'm there for
See?
that.
There, come
Yeah.
on out.
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
we're
Now-
still looking for volunteers to help in the kitchen as well. We'd like to have who are already working with the kids come out, and since they'd be working with them anyways, why not be out there and help out with the activities?
Right. So you talked about groups are already working on their activities and so forth. How are these groups? Are they assigned, or they come from different areas, or how?
We recruited
What's a group?
teenagers, the teens who are already in our program, and then we asked them to ask their friends, and we sent out to the high schools. And so we have about 15 teens who are just committed to being youth leaders, and they've been learning about everything, the dynamics of breaking a cycle of violence to, how to have icebreakers and open kids up to talk. And they're just doing it on their own.
Wow.
Just showing up. I mean, of course, we have incentives. Like
Sure.
we went yesterday on the Atlantis submarine.
Oh, wow.
And then afterwards did some beach cleanup, had lunch, and we were on the beach. And the Polynesian Adventures Canoeing donated a couple of surfboards for the kids to use and get out and surf. And so they had a great time.
Wow. What an experience for them. And hopefully it keeps them. We mentioned earlier that they're kind of at-risk youth that when they come to you, and hopefully you've been able to reinforce the right life for these kids, and they move forward.
That's a constant message that we talk about with the kids. I mean, I know in my research, in looking at the Kauai longitudinal study, is that children with adverse childhood experiences, they can overcome those trauma if they have that right type of intervention. And you have to promote resiliency, competency, and self-esteem. And they found that just having one positive person in your life, one positive, a mentor or a teacher or counselor, that it overrides those risk factors for kids. And so that's what the reality that forms the foundation and that vision for Camp Hope is that having younger kids want to be around teenagers so badly. So having that bond with those teenagers and having that mentorship. And then the teens are learning to give back in a way that it's really fulfilling for them.
And I suppose there's many of them that don't think they have anything to give back.
Right, and so that's what we're training and teaching them is that just your mere presence and your positive affirmations are really healthy to kids who might not be hearing that all the time.
Right. And it's not always what you say, it's what you do.
Right.
And just
Right.
watching them and how they interact.
So
and
we as adults are role modeling for the teens, and we're trying to train them. We have some slip-ups, but trying to train them
well,
to...
working with youth it's a work in progress.
Oh, yes. It's like herding cats sometimes, but we always seem to get to our goal, and that's, the educational piece, and they always seem to have a great time because they come back the next day, so...
So are we going to have a problem out there because it's very bad for cell phone service?
That's okay, because we confiscate cell phones anyways. You can't focus and pay attention if you're on your cell phone. So if one of the adults see the cell phone out and being played with, and you can keep it in your pocket, but if I see it out, it becomes mine. It goes into the cell phone box, and you get it at the end of the day. So, and there's no cell phone service out there, so really doesn't matter.
So there is life without cell phones.
Yes, there is.
Actually, it's a pretty good life if everybody would just stop and pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I'm getting a high sign here from Gary, so it's time for a break, and we'll take that break and come back in just a minute.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, your weekly radio show. We're talking story with the Maui Nonprofit directors. Today we're talking with Angela McClure, who is the director of the MEO Youth Services Program. She's telling us about a new program that they're doing coming up later this month, the Camp Hope Maui in July. We have talked about the kinds of kids that get involved in this program. When we talk about at-risk, what's the definition of at-risk? Is there...
Well, it's just, it's basically adverse childhood experiences where maybe a child's experienced some sort of trauma or has witnessed or has been in a chaotic environment, or I guess all kids are at risk. Peer pressure can make you at risk. But the kids who come to our program, they talk, and a lot of them, they've seen a lot.
Yeah. Do they share stories with each other about what's happened?
They do, and particularly right now because we're working on public service announcements at Akaku. Mm-hmm. And so when you ask a child, how has drugs or alcohol affected your life, they'll talk about what they've witnessed, and they come up with their own ideas on what's going to improve their lives by staying away from those substances. And so in talking about that, they share their story of trauma, definitely.
Right. And what they're going to do to stay away from that in the future, or for their adult life.
Right. And what message they want to get out to the community on how it affects them if they do witness somebody, on drugs or drinking. Or
are they the best to help each other out? I mean, you look at it and you say adults can say and do anything they want. The kids go, oh, yeah, and then hours later they're out on the street.
Definitely listening to one another and sharing their experiences and how they abstain has had more of an impact than any type of lecture they could receive from an adult.
Lecture or campaign. I mean, they've tried the brain looking like a fried egg, and they've tried all kinds of other things.
They're the ones who came up with the Be a Jerk the public service announcement, and so they're learning to film, to create the storyboard, to create a message while they're there, and it's powerful. The one that's coming out in the next couple months is going to be pretty powerful.
Really? Okay. And that's now that's part of what you're working on.
Yes.
You're one of the member of the coalition, the drug-free or alcohol-free, whatever the group is.
It's youth services, and it's underage drinking through the county is what sponsors our programs, and which allows our staff to go in not only into the schools to teach. We teach 6th through 12th grade. And we just talk about amazing alternatives as one of the programs, and then we have we have curriculum that we teach, and then we also through just the different experiences of the service learning.
So when I guess as I look at this, and I was reading on MEO's website, that's one of my best sources of prep for these shows. I was talking about the prevention of underage drinking, substance abuse, tobacco use, teenage pregnancy, teenage suicide is consistently blended with youth program activities. I mean, the kids just are exposed to so much today. How many times have all of us adults said, I'm sure glad I'm not a kid today?
Oh, definitely. And they all have iPhones, too. I mean, they have better phones than some of us do. And so they're constantly getting the messages, from the phones, from different media. School, they have so much coming in, so quickly, and then to have to process that and develop at the same rate, it's amazing.
To me, the scariest thing is that with the phone, as you said, all this information coming in from the various sources, you don't know what those sources really are.
Right.
And so many of them are not your friends.
Teach them is to be safe, and that's part of our suicide prevention instruction is safe messaging and how not to bully over social media, and what to do, how to contact an adult, or what to do if you feel that somebody's at risk.
Well, it's really. I know on the show we've had we have several agencies, obviously, that work with kids in in these kinds of situations, and I always walk out of here thinking, why could I work with kids like that, or would I be just so overwhelmed with what they're exposed to that you just feel like you're fighting a losing battle?
You're not, because if you can save one child, I think that the battle's won.
There you go, one at a time.
One at a time, yeah. And there are so many who are benefiting. And I know sometimes people talk about duplication of services, but you really can't, because there's so many kids that we're still missing. That maybe some of them are involved with Boys and Girls Club or whatever different things in MEO. They're all benefiting and learning by being in a healthy, safe environment, and learning from adults who care enough to work with those kids.
That's true. And what one agency offers may get their attention versus another one.
Right.
And everything's one by one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Has to be.
I mean, we can look at a crowd and say, yeah, we turned that crowd around. No, you didn't. You turned around a few people who influenced a few more people.
Right.
And it just goes from there.
We're really expressing that whole pay it forward idea with the kids, and how what they do can just have a everlasting effect on so many others.
Do you see any situations where it's like almost an instantaneous effect?
Yes, because we have kids who've gotten in trouble for undertaking in high-risk behavior, who say that because they are now involved in something where there are other kids who aren't doing it, that they don't have that desire to go out and maybe drink or to do drugs, and they want to stay clean and sober.
So they want to be there tomorrow.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where
definitely.
It's not all about
that
tonight.
It's fun. It's just they worked on a campaign last night, and they had to come up with a logo, and they came up with Keep Calm and Hope, and the Hope stood for. I'm going to lose it again. They just came up with it.
It just went right out of there.
Went right out. I'll remember it in a minute. But they came up with it on their own, and so they're creating T-shirts that they're going to wear, and they're going to have a T-shirt campaign, and it's just really expressing that just don't give up hope.
Right. Well, it's such an appropriate name for what you're going to be doing out there. Now, there's also a program, something called Boys Council Project.
Yes.
That I was reading about. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's where my male staff get together with the teenage boys and maybe a community representative, and they basically they talk story, and they share, and they talk about what it's like to be a man in these times, and it's about honor and pride and respect, and definitely work ethic, and it's different each time. It's usually youth led with guidance by adults. And as a woman, of course, I don't get to sit in on them, so I can't tell you everything. I don't know what they talk about, because it basically is and the same with the Girls Circle. We've applied for different grants recently and asking to do Girls Circle, which we're limited on funding for right now. But it's taking the girls and talking about their futures and teaching them to cook and be self-sufficient and sustainability as far as an environment and just all that awareness and how to do it and how not to get overwhelmed just by doing one thing at a time.
Right. Well, so often when we talk about the youth today, we say they come from families or households where there is no dad, and in some cases there's no mom. They're foster children. Maybe they don't pay as much attention to those who are supposed to be taking care of them as they might if they were in a family situation. So where are they supposed to learn these things?
Yeah, definitely. We have so many of our kids who dad is either deceased, in prison, mom is maybe in rehab or just on the mainland, and they're here, and they might be being raised by an aunt or an uncle or a grandma or in the foster care, and so I think those are the kids who really want to be in the program, because they're getting that, which is obviously has been missing.
And TV certainly is no example for them to live by.
No.
I mean, you look at the shows that are on, and I'm not sure I even know some of the shows that the kids might watch, if they still watch TV. But I'm sure there's some stations that they do watch, and there's certainly some movies that we know they go see. Not the example you want.
No, definitely. So that's our goal, is just to provide that positive role modeling and experiences, and continue with the education piece, and really it's about asking them what are their hopes and what are their dreams, and helping them realize that potential to achieve whatever it is that they would like. And so we'll help them, either find financially, or we'll call and ask for a sponsorship, whatever it is that they want to do.
So now they're not necessarily coming into this with an image of somebody that they want to be or be like. It's just that they know they need to learn some things, and they're not happy with life as they see it around them. And so now the people, the adults that are working with them, they become their role models, I would think, in some respect.
They definitely do. I see that my staff is very bonded with kids. It's hard to hold the boundaries sometimes, because you want to take them all home and adopt, everybody, but they do, and they try to help out the best that they can by really turning things around to have the child focus on how they can, create a better situation for themselves.
Right. And it is possible, even with not the best of surroundings, you can come out of that.
Definitely.
In the end.
Yes. You are not your family, and you make your own choices. And there are definite opportunities, and we expect every one of you to go to college. And that's a concept.
Right.
I grew up in a home that nobody even talked about college until I went to live with another family, and they just, you're going to college. What do you? And I did, because that's what was expected. And so when you put that expectation on the kids that you're smart enough, you're going to college. I don't care if anyone in your family hasn't. Nobody in my family did, and it's that constant explaining to them that anything's possible.
And they don't have to be lost in this. The future doesn't hold anything for me.
Right. Definitely.
Just more of the same. Yeah. So anyway, Camp Hope coming up July 21st. You still have some openings. And how can they find out more about it?
They can call 249-2990 at Maui Economic Opportunity and ask for Angela McClure or any of the youth services staff. And if you know a child that's at risk, call and we'll give you information. Or if you want to volunteer, we need volunteers in the community who would like to come and maybe help out that week, and come for a day, come for all 4 days.
Very good. And you stopped just as I'm about to sneeze. Oh, anyway, sorry about that. So that, actually, it sounds exciting. I want to go out. I want to go out there and be a part of it.
I hope you do.
Yeah. If I would go to everything that everybody talks about on this show, I would have to retire.
You'd be gone all the time.
Yeah, I would. And I think it'd be great, though, because there's so many exciting things going on out there.
Maui's awesome.
Yeah, and things that were never around when I was growing up, It was you and your cousins go play. Yeah, because we never got out and mixed with other people that much.
Right.
I think that was just the lifestyle back then. But Angela, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
You've made it through your first radio interview here on Maui.
I have. It's delightful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and have a great week out there. And we hope some folks will give you a call at 249-2990 to find out more about Camp Hope Maui. Terrific. Thank you, Angela. Okay, coming up here, the second half of the show, we have a very familiar name. Ray Chandler, what are you up to at Community Work Day?
Oh my, so much.
One of which is it's not Community Work Day.
Yeah.
Or is it still?
It is. It is not. It is always and also Malama Maui Nui.
Oh boy.
Yes. So we are in the middle of our fabulous name change, planning a lot of events, one of which is a very important one coming up this Saturday at the Ritz-Carlton in Kapalua, an event called For the Love of Maui. It's going to be the official launch of our new name. And we're so grateful that the Ritz-Carlton is providing a venue for us, and we're able to keep the tickets at a reasonable price. It's actually going to be $25 for this jazz concert that's going to be on Saturday night. Begins at 5. It's from 5 to 10 p.m. And there are fabulous jazz artists that are coming in from New Orleans and from New York. And they're going to actually be here on a series of concerts, one of which is ours. Which is going to be
Jazz
this
Festival?
Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
And so in combination.
Timing.
Yeah, timing, right? So we have them on Saturday night, and there's even Latin jazz musicians, which is fabulous. People love dancing. Like, they are amazing, and I'm really excited for them to be at this event. So that's an event in and of itself. Just a Latin jazz music concert is fabulous. On top of that, we are making it environmental, artsy, silent auction, plant sales, learn about Malama Maui Nui. It's really going to be a Malama Maui Nui immersion event.
Malama Maui Nui.
And so Maui Nui is where we live for everybody who does not know that. You know, our islands geologically in Maui County, we're all one. One super island called Maui Nui, and over time, that island has settled, the ocean level has risen, and we have now 4 distinct islands, which are the peaks of what were one large island called Maui Nui. So sometimes you'll hear it interchangeably, Maui County, Maui Nui. Community Workday Program has been an organization that's been supporting the environment in Maui County since 1993. When we were certified as an affiliate of Keep America Beautiful. And so that relationship with the county is very strong, and it's county-wide. It's on all the islands. And in fact, we do also help Kaho'olawe Island Reserve Commission with their cleanups and getting their marine debris out of Kanapo'o Bay and properly disposed of. And so we do work on all 4 of the major islands, and that's why I feel like it's important for us to have a Maui Nui program. Our name Community Workday over the years has caused a lot of questions like, is it a day? Is it a program? Is it a community service program? Is it a community work release program? So many questions. And I'm actually proud to say that, you know, it's all of that.
And more.
It's more than
So much more.
anything you could imagine.
Right.
You know, and that's what this event is for. The way that we've designed this event, my idea was that you would go to something like Earth Day, and you would see, here's the Sierra Club's table, Maui Forest Bird Rescue, Maui Nui Botanical Gardens, you know, all the different environmental nonprofits. They would be there. Community Workday would be there. At this event, you're going to go to an event, and the first table is going to be us and our marine debris cleanups and all of our fish nets that we pull up and all of our international coastal cleanup events that we do, all the cigarette butts that we collect, how many, why, where they come from, where they go. And then the next table is going to be our land-based cleanups, our highway beautification, our litter prevention with the police department, our graffiti, you know, removal. The next table, our native planting projects, our invasive species projects. The next table, our garden projects. The next table, our recycling projects. Because I think that many, many, many people in this county have been touched or have been directly involved by our program, and they don't know sometimes everything, you know, that we do. They intersect in the way they intersect. Sometimes it's litter, sometimes it's gardens, but they actually never get to see everything at once. And so that's what this event is for. And we're taking advantage of this moment to just broadcast photos on the walls everywhere and make, you know, a statement about what we've been doing for all this time.
I think you're right. I think, and I've heard different times people talk about, we did this with Community Workday, and other people will go, Community Workday? I didn't know that. I thought they did the beach cleanup, you know, or somebody else will talk about something, the art of trash.
The art of trash.
And then somebody will say, no, they're the guys that have the orange bags out on the side of the highway. And it's like, well, wait a minute, who is this?
Yeah, and we're the guys with the litter barrels, and we're the guys with the wire baskets.
Yeah.
And you know, we're a lot of guys.
You are.
Yeah. And they're all wonderful, and we invite the public to participate in the way that it's comfortable for them. I think that's one of the great things about our program is it allows you to get engaged in the thing that you're interested in. Not
Right.
everybody's interested in picking up trash on the highway, unfortunately. I wish everybody loved it as much as I do. I love it, by the way, because you feel such a sense of accomplishment.
Right.
But
Oh, it looks so
I
good.
wish it does, but I wish, that everybody felt that way. And that way of feeling is a sense of responsibility for our environment. And I invite people to take action in the way that it's comfortable to them. And for
Right.
some people, it's putting a seed in a little pot and helping it sprout for a school garden.
There you go.
You can sit down while you do it.
Right,
There's
right.
all kinds of ways that people can
Yeah.
get engaged in actually helping to do something positive.
And we're going
that's
to
what
talk much more about that and what Malama Maui Nui is going to be all about after this break.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we're coming back on the air with a little quiz for all of you out there in Radioland. What is Malama Maui Nui? If you were paying attention the last 10 minutes, you'd know the answer. And if you just joined us, this is Maui Nonprofit Notes, talking story with another of our nonprofit agencies. By the way, one that we formally, well, many people will be calling it this even though it has a new name, but it's Community Workday Program, who is getting ready to celebrate their new name, Malama Maui Nui. And Ray Chandler, the executive director of this organization, was just telling us about the fabulous jazz concert and all the tables. And, she's right. When you go to an event, there's tables for all these different groups that do related kinds of things, and that's what you expect to see. Mm-hmm. And what you're going to be seeing at this event are related tables, and they're all closely related because they're all the same organization.
Yes.
It's just all the different things that you do.
Yes.
And the numbers of volunteers that you have on your list must be unbelievable.
Yes. Throughout the course of the year, last fiscal year, it was just over 10,000. 10,035 was the number of people that had participated in everything. Like I said, again, recycling events, gardening events, litter pickups, marine debris cleanups, graffiti painting, invasive species removal, native planting projects. So people get engaged in the ways that, calls and speaks to them. But it is so many people throughout the course of a year. It is so many people. And so we're hoping that, that people will, through this event and not only the event itself, but the publicity around the event, it will get people acquainted to, our basically expanded, array of programs. I think over the last couple of years, it's really grown a lot.
I have to ask the question of 2013.
Oh, yeah.
Website for the new organization.
I know. It is the question of 2013. And I had a hope that the website would be ready for the launch of this event. And I am not one to go against the universe, I would say. I will allow things to happen at the speed in which they happen, because no amount of stress on my part will change the outcome. So it is.
This is a lady that's learned the hard way.
In process. Yes, it is in process.
Okay.
It is going to be gorgeous. And when it is up, you will know why it took so long. But it is gonna happen. I would say at this point, probably mid-August. You can look for it. For now, though, we have secured the domain name malamamauinui.org, and if you were to enter malamamauinui.org on your internet search engine, you would arrive at our Facebook page, which is a good place to arrive at because you will find out about events that we've done recently, upcoming events. And tons of photos of all the projects I was just talking about.
Wow. Now,
Yeah.
Is that also tied back to Community Workday? So if they
Yes.
go and look there,
Yes.
it'll jump to that?
Yes, it is. And so actually when you arrive there today, it would have an announcement that Community Workday is changing into Malama Maui Nui, and that we wanted to give people a heads up. So I think we set a week and for the announcement, and then at the end of that week, that when you go to our page, it'll say Malama Maui Nui on the top, and then underneath that, it will say Caring for the Environment of Maui County in the Spirit of Community Workday Program, because I want people to always, and it'll always say that, because I want people to know
That relationship.
because it's so important to me that we not lose our identity in this name change. And for that reason, we are DBA Malama Maui Nui. So we will always be Community Workday Program. And I know that people in Hana that we've been doing recycling events with for many years will always be Community Workday Program to them. And I don't want that to change,
Right.
because it's all a part of the history. And in fact, if people wanted to make a donation, they could make a donation in the name of Community Workday Program for all time, and it will still go to us. So we have both of those names, and it is definitely our story, and it's my personal story in that I came into this organization as an employee of Community Workday Program 6 years ago, which was an organization started by Jan Dapitan, and I don't want that history to ever get lost. And so I want to be sure that anytime anybody ever looks for us in the future and they find us under our new name, that immediately under that name it's going to say Community Workday Program.
So I'm hearing that in this new website, there's probably going to be a little history
Yeah.
of the organization
Definitely.
that people should not overlook.
No. Yeah, I invite you to look at that history page and learn about how we first started in the Office of Litter Control under the Department of Health. That
Oh,
we
my
were
goodness.
actually a
State.
state branch, and that office was closed in 1996. And that Community Workday Program was the nonprofit arm of that office since the 80s. And we, at that point in time, became a freestanding nonprofit organization. Jan moved the organization to Maui County because Community Workday Program was actually a statewide nonprofit arm for the statewide Office of Litter Control. And so it was based in Honolulu, and she brought it in the 90s to Maui, and at that point in time was, the director of the Parks Department or the deputy director of the Parks Department. I'm not
that's
sure.
right. That's
But
right.
she was serving in that capacity in the county, and so had intersected with that program, of course, a lot, cleaning up public spaces. And when she retired from the county, she became the executive director of Community Workday. And so it continued under that leadership until just 4 years ago. And so 5 years ago now. And so I've been with the organization for 6 years. And unfortunately, I will be leaving on July 31st.
And we're all here with our handkerchiefs out, crying over this because we don't want to lose her.
There are a lot of tears, I have to say.
But you are going on to bigger and better things, and you're going to be back to accomplish bigger and better things here. So
Yes.
we just have to wait for you to come back.
Yes to all of that. Yes, I'm going to law school, and that alone is a feat, I think, just to even get in and get to this point, really, wow. But I'm going for environmental law, and it's entirely motivated by the work that I've done thus far, and that Community Workday Program really is what people can do to take action for the environment. It's the grassroots answer to solving local problems that can be solved by the community. There's a number of incredibly complex problems that cannot be solved on a grassroots level, and of course, that's where we have our government and the people that are in place making the decisions that we are facing today that are taking that responsibility on, and that I feel motivated now after everything that I've seen in the last 6 years, that we have so much to save, that we have still hope here, that Maui County is abundant with natural resources today, whatever date today is, July 3rd, 2013. We have fish and trees and, open space. And that it takes all of us to continue. It takes all of us to believe that we can manage ourselves and manage these resources so that, 100 years from now, the kids can look forward to the same things that our kids can look forward to today. And so I think we have a community obligation to that, and that's the obligation that I take on, and that I am going to law school for that reason, that I firmly believe that we can have a bright future still for our environment.
And you certainly have the passion
Oh, yes.
for what you're talking about and what you're doing. And
Yes.
and passion is 90% of it when it comes to things like Community Work Day is all about.
Yes. Yeah.
So when did the move to the Puanini location for your organization take place?
Actually, it took place more than 10 years ago. I know that Jan had a site out in Kihei for a while, and it was connected to the Parks Department, and that we've been on the DOE property that we're on right now for many years.
Oh, okay.
And we're so lucky to be in that building. We're actually in a 1926 classroom building, and the building across the street is the principal's house for Pu'unene Elementary School. And so we have 2 office buildings, and we dutifully maintain them. We've replaced roofs and
they're looking
made
good.
it habitable.
They're looking good.
I really appreciate when people make a comment about, oh, I love these old buildings. I'm so glad you're here, because the buildings around us are condemned.
Yeah.
They've basically fallen in on themselves because they don't have somebody to care for them.
Right.
And so I'm glad that we're there. I'm so grateful that we have that space. And on that same space, we have our recycling programs. We offer free paint to the community Monday through Friday. We have our wire baskets that we offer for community events and for individuals. We have our greenhouse and our native plants in the back. And so it allows us, the flexibility to do some of the things I think that we wouldn't be able to do if we were directly in town.
Right.
We would just never have that much space.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a friend that works at the Maui Friends of the Library
Yes.
back behind there.
We love them.
Yeah, and every Friday when I drop her off on my way to work, I look at those buildings and I look at what's going on and I go, you do it, Ray. Go for it.
Yeah.
Because it represents such a small part of what you do, but yet it's that stability and that pride even in your facilities that shows through. And so if you can have that kind of pride in the facilities, imagine how you really feel about the island and home.
We love it.
Yeah, you do. I can see that.
Yes.
And that's going to be the hardest part about going to law school is
my
it takes you
gosh.
away from here.
I was just talking about that this morning, about how I'm honestly having separation anxiety. I'm honestly experiencing symptoms of depression because I love my job so sincerely. I love my board so much. I couldn't say that enough. And I could cry if we talk about this long enough. I'll start crying right now.
Okay, we'll change subjects.
Yeah, definitely. It's very, very, very hard. But at the same time, like you said earlier, I stay motivated by knowing that what I'm going to do is for the greater good, and I'm going to be back.
Right.
And that's all that I can keep in my mind.
Right. So how long does it take now for you to get your degree in?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's actually law school is 3 years, and I do hope to do some exchange to Manoa because there's some Hawaii-specific classes that would be best for me to learn, like marine laws and things like that. And then I do want to be in New Zealand for a short time. They have a lot of phenomenal environmental laws that are very applicable to us as an island community, and also culturally very similar between Hawaiians, Tahitians, Maori people. We have similar systems of land management, and a lot of those cultural practices are now being appreciated and integrated into environmental management across the world, but especially in Polynesia. And I'm very interested in that. That is the thing that motivates me the most about preservation of the environment. It's actually preservation of the culture, and that the environment is a mechanism to maintain the culture, because the culture is dependent upon these things, these natural resources that we use to practice our culture with, whether it's hula or lomi or, medicinally, we rely on these plants. And more than 50% of our plants are endangered.
Wow.
Endangered. More than 50% of the United States endangered and extinction list is just Hawaii.
Oh, my goodness.
For the whole continent, it's just Hawaii, because we have so many unique species, and they're radiated that maybe they only exist in one valley on one island. So there's not an abundant supply of a lot of our plants, animals, or insects, and we've lost so many of them, and that loss is what motivates me. That's what takes me to work every day, and that's what takes me to law school, because we're all depending on good choices being made by a lot of people.
Right. A lot of people who have no idea what you expect of them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Wow. I could listen to you all afternoon. Yeah.
I am so grateful to be here and just to be talking about our event. If you are free this Saturday and you like jazz or you love the environment, whatever brings you out, For the Love of Maui is the name of our event, and it is the name change coming out party for Community Workday program that is turning into Malama Maui Nui. And we invite you to come to the Ritz-Carlton Kapalua from 5 to 10 p.m. to experience jazz artists from New York and New Orleans, and people, just incredible entertainment, silent auction, native plants for sale, edible plants for sale. Learn about what we do, get engaged in the way that you feel comfortable, and, share in that responsibility of caring for our environment. That's what we're here for.
And check out all the tables representing all the different programs that.
Yeah.
When your neighbor was telling you about that program they did for Community Workday, and you said, no, they don't do that, guess what? They do. They did. They are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you have any questions about the event, we invite you to call our office at 877-2524. Again, that's 877-2524, or send an email to info@cwdhawaii.org, or we can buy tickets online. There is something called Eventbrite. And so the address to buy tickets online is fortheloveofmaui.eventbrite.com. Again, fortheloveofmaui.eventbrite.com, and Brite is B-R-I-T-E. So you can buy your tickets online, or you can buy them at the door. Buy them at the door. Only $25. We're really excited that we can keep our price low for our Maui families to participate in this event, and it is going to be fabulous. It's going to be fabulous.
And you will see Ray Chandler out there just having a great old time, because
Yes.
it's all happening.
Yes, it's all happening.
It's coming together. Now, this has been in the planning for how long?
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, well, you heard it here. Malama Maui Nui is coming to be. Join the concert For the Love of Maui, the jazz concert at the Ritz-Carlton this Saturday from 5 to 10 p.m. Tickets are $25. The phone number to call is 877-2529. Earlier in the show, we had Angela McClure from MEO's Youth Services Program talking about Camp Hope. If you want more information on that program, call 249-2990. Boy, this has been a variety, hasn't it? This is a real variety show today. But it's all looking to the future, the youth and what they're going to be in the future. You're talking about the island, our island home, and what it's going to be in the future.
Wow.
Because of what everybody's doing to make it.
Look at what our nonprofits do for the community.
I tell you, it's just so exciting, And we want to thank everybody out there today for joining us on the show. As you know, we're sponsored by the Pacific Source, the Builder's Choice, and the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors. You know what? He's given me the sign that we don't have much time. We got the 4th of July coming up tomorrow. Everybody enjoy, but be safe. We'll be right back here next Wednesday, same time, same place, 11:10 a.m., 96.7 in the FM. In the meantime, I'm Susie Tiemann, and
Ray Chandler. And thank you, Susie, for hosting the show. We love you. Thank you, Gary.
And Gary on the controls. We will see you all next week. Aloha and have a great week.